Hey guys, thanks for jumping on real quick. Just kind of wanted to get your opinion on how to handle a bit of a disagreement I had looking at some analytics recently with a client. So, uh, was having a conversation about their quarterly performance review. We were taking a look at overall general metrics, website, emails, social media. A lot of that was looking really, really clean. Really good performance and growth over prior year, above the industry benchmarks. All really good stuff. We got into the lead generation side. They're a B2B organization, and she started going through the metrics that they had and was referencing a recent publication that she had seen about how much that they should be measuring per their deals of closed wins and the payback period related to the spend she was putting on those against not just the search criteria where she's really doubled her leads out of, but looking at it across the entire pipeline and her entire budget. And so I was trying to explain to her that the reality is that in her business vertical, which has an extremely high ASP, we'll say north of $50,000 per deal. You know, they are there is not an ability for her to close those deals. Ultimately, salespeople have to get involved. So measuring her effectiveness stops at, for us, the way we've looked at it is we always look at it at the lead to opportunity conversion rate, because now it's into the sales team members' hands. They've agreed that this is a viable deal, and that's where we're measuring pipeline ROI. Now, we are going to watch the back end, and in this scenario, she feels bad. So, and the reason she feels bad is we're trying to hit a new number for the first time, a record number for the organization in this coming year. But 50% of the deals have come from marketing, closed deals. More than 50% of the pipeline has come from marketing. So I was trying to explain to her that, really we could be turning budget down to save on that and provide a higher ROI for her, but also trying to help her understand that once those deals have been handed off, that's not really her responsibility for the opportunity conversion unless it's a long deal cycle that she could nurture. Any thoughts that you guys have?
Okay, I think that there's just there's a lot of different things that she can look at when it comes to adding the value for the leads. So, the quality, the scoring. I know she's handing them off to sales for actual close rate, pipeline contribution, just looking towards how we're bringing the leads back through the pipeline, um, how they're engaging with the content. I think that measuring quality of MQLs with such a high ASP product, it does present a unique set of challenges. And I think that it involves a lot of communication between the sales and the marketing teams. And there's going to be some other metrics that are important aside from just close rate that are going to need to be tracked in order to value the effectiveness of the marketing leads that are coming over to the sales organization.
Couple of questions. Do they have an inside sales team, or the leads come?
Uh, yeah, they've got a group working. They've got an individual or two working them as they come in. Not in a really defined cadence methodology though.
Okay. Are they hitting their revenue targets?
No. Well, the revenue target's on a 30% growth basis, so they're hitting revenue. They're closing deals, uh, but they're not on pace for their target.
Okay. Because 50% of any pipeline with I would call a consultative sale of more than 3 to 4 months, that's longer. That's more alarming than good, because a couple of reasons. I would look at their handoffs when they say there's an MQL, marketing qualified lead, or SAL. They may not be doing that good of due diligence of, is this an opportunity that I can close, or they're just converting it instead of going, hey, I would look at the scoring to see if we're putting stuff too early. Um, Also, if we got an inside sales team and half their day is just looking at MQLs and SALs, they're not really doing enough outbound, what I call. There's inbound leads, which marketing brings you, and outbound leads where you go get cold calling. To me, those two metrics are off. And I think they need to be tweaked a little more, not really mess on spend, but really make sure we're not creating opportunities into the pipeline that can't be converted or can't close.
Yeah.
And there's persona work, there's ICP work, but
Yeah.
50%, just being the sales guy, we're being very lazy on our outbound, if that's a strategy they have. And we're probably not kicking enough stuff back to marketing or having that collaboration between sales and marketing saying, hey, this is a good lead, but they're not ready to buy. That insight to marketing goes back to what you say. Maybe it's a longer nurture, not only to get the lead over, but also it's a longer nurture while they're in opportunity, in the early stages of an opportunity, the first couple of stages, like discovery or development. They may need to continue with that if we're not hitting our revenue goals. So just the quantity of leads and the percentage is a little alarming to me. It's kudos to marketing, like that. They're doing their stuff, but it may be kind of fool's gold. They need to dig into it a little more.
Yeah, and they may simply require more nurturing depending on where they're coming in and, how they're being passed off and at what point, and when does it make sense to pick up the velocity and when is it handed over to a sales team, either, an inside sales team or maybe someone more senior on the team. I'm just keep going back to the point that it's in higher, ASP, it's probably a higher touch sort of sales cycle and process. And so understanding that and closing the gap there where, there's fall off or where there might need to be more contribution from the CRM system and we might need more enhanced drips and we might need to just hold the hand a little bit before things are necessarily passed out, just so that we're seeing more success on those codes.
Sounds like, Kristen, what you're suggesting is potentially a reallocation of budget into more organic content creation to support different phases of the sales cycle rather than just continuing to create leads, right? Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, definitely. And I think that it's something that they should consider. How are they nurturing? How are they making sure that this individual is ready to buy? What type of information do they need? Are they getting that? Do they feel satiated and understanding what those trigger points are? And do they have enough communication where need be to understand and to really be ready to pull that trigger?
Yeah, I think that would be an interesting way for, an organization of this size and success is that, it's not always about using the budget dollars to spend externally as it relates to new leads, new names, keywords, ads, all of those different things, trade shows. Often it's about working the database that you have, being able to nurture the returns, Derek, like you talked about, the amount of organic content that is either evergreen or slightly evergreen that can last for 9 months to a year, at least survive a couple of sales cycles, will be critical. So no, I think that's a good point. I will share that. And maybe Kristen, you can jump on the call with us next time when we talk through their next 90-day plan, because I think helping them rerun the numbers in a way that maybe breaks it down by category, right? Like what percentage of your deals and leads are coming from paid versus organic, and what's coming from nurtured back, and where should budget be reallocated, and putting some ROIs on that. Because there is such thing as too high of an ROI, meaning that you're not investing correctly in the other categories. So that's awesome. I will take a look at that and we'll make sure we get you added to the next call.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.